Being biracial in the University of Nevada, in Reno, or in generally just this state of Nevada or in the country, it's kind of, in a nutshell, you're not enough like one thing and you're not enough like the other, so therefore you're neither. I personally grew up biracial. I'm half African American, half Latina. I'm of El Salvadoran descent. I'm Salvatrucha, and my mother is 100% Haitian, so I'm of Haitian descent as well. Throughout the beginning of my life, up until about 12, 13, 14 years old, maybe high school, I only identified as a Hispanic Latino woman. I didn't really, outside of my house or even inside my house really, I never really recognized or connected with my Haitian heritage or my Haitian culture past the means of food and hearing my family speak the language, as well as different little tiny traditions that can not only be seen as Haitian traditions but also just conservative Afro-Caribbean or even Hispanic heritages. I grew up mostly in a household where I only ate Hispanic Salvadoran food. I only heard my father speak Spanish on the phone or towards me. For my mom, I never really heard her speak any of French or Haitian Creole. I only heard that from my grandparents. Me and my sister kind of grew up believing that we weren't Haitian in a way, that we were just Salvadoran, and that was what we truly identified with for a really long time. We would spend a lot of time with our grandparents and our Haitian grandparents who emigrated to this country when they were 25 years old from Haiti. From the moment I could understand my grandfather, or my grandfather could teach us anything about himself, we were always told that we weren't black. We were always told that we were of a different type of Haitian group. We were of a subgroup, and he called us mulatto, and he said that we weren't black in any way, but we were true Haitians, and that we were much different from those people. And as a really young girl, me and my sister, we both didn't really think anything of this because we were taught at such a young age that this was who we were, and because my grandparents are not of dark complexion like that, we kind of just assumed that he was right, and we never took on that identity for a large part of our lives. Everything about him and his family and his daughters that even resembled anything of their African American culture, and anything that we got that he didn't like from our Haitian side, we were told to diminish those things. So for instance, my sister along with my mother and two of my aunts both have very curly nappy hair. They have different curl types, but they don't it's very, you can tell that the hair is of African American descent, that's the type of hair they have. I personally didn't get that type of hair. I got the Salvadoran type of hair from my father, and so it's not as prevalent on me as it is on my sister. But from a very young age, we were always told, even me who I just have a little bit of curly hair, I was always told that curly hair or any type of curl or ringlet was ugly, and that it was distasteful, and that straight hair looked way better. We always had to wear our hair straight in front of her. If my sister came over with her natural hair, she would immediately make her straighten it, or she would wet it and make it sleek to where it looked straight. I thought that this was just the way our grandma liked it. But over time I realized that my mom, she's 45 years old, she never wears her hair curly, she never has natural hair, because of this type of ideology that my grandma instilled in her and her sisters, and instilled in us when my parents had children, that any type of look that looks like African, or looks like someone who's black, or any type of characteristic that didn't appeal to her or show the light side of Haiti was always diminished and always erased completely. The first time I ever really started identifying with my Haitian side and my African American culture, or even started to delve into that African American culture, was when I was 15 years old, 14, 15 years old in high school, and I had to do a historical project that was chosen from, we chose from a hat a country, and we had to choose a historical and social problem that happened in that country, and I got the Dominican Republic. In a nutshell, the Parsley Massacre happened in the late 1930s, around 1937, in the Dominican Republic, that targeted Haitians that were moving over into the Dominican Republic and basically darkening the race. So what the dictator of the Dominican Republic at that time, his name was Trujillo, he decided he wanted to perform a blanquisimo on the entire country of the Dominican Republic. And blanquisimo in these terms means whitening, so what he wanted to do was whiten the race. So there were way too many Haitians, dark Haitians, that were moving into the Dominican Republic, which the Dominican Republic and Haiti have a long history of slavery on that island, because the island is Hispaniola, and so the Dominican Republic has long-standing roots of African in their blood. But because they kind of weeded that out and made their race a little bit lighter, the Haitians coming over and darkening the race again was once again a problem that they wanted to dispel. So during this massacre, there was about 30,000 Haitians in the Dominican Republic. They were rounded up and they were slaughtered. And this was the first time that I actually something resonated and connected with me. I realized that this wasn't just my grandpa telling me something that he wanted me to pass down, but this was like a widespread ideology that not only my grandpa or not only the lighter Haitians in Haiti still feel towards the darker Haitians, but this is widespread to even in another country where darkness is such a problem. And that was the first time I recognized that connection, and which started in me the thought that maybe my grandpa is wrong. Maybe he instilled something in my mother that made her not show me any of these things that connect to my Haitian culture. He kept it from my mother and her sisters to the point where she didn't bring anything into my household. I realized that that was something that needed to change, not only in myself but in my sister and in my mother as well. I needed to find a way to unlearn and relearn those things that my grandfather instilled in us. And being Latina and of Salvadoran descent, I was from a very young age very prideful of my heritage. My father brought that from when he immigrated to this country when he was 10 to bring into me and my sister's life. In high school, I was always just thought of as another Mexican person, not to discount Mexican people, but when you are not Mexican but you are Latina or you are Hispanic, it's just like any other ethnicity or race. You don't want to be called or labeled something all the time that you aren't. And being a Salvadoran person, being in a city that not a lot of Salvadoran people are in, or the Hispanic or Latina awareness in that community is very small, it was very hard for me as a young child to kind of counteract all these people that were telling me I was just Mexican. It's really hard growing up when you say what you are and people will change it to what they think. In high school, I was never really allowed to acknowledge that I was Salvadoran as well as African American or of Haitian descent, because a lot of my peers at the time would say, you never said it before, so why are you saying it now? Why are you claiming this type of race when you always claimed that you were a Latina before? And that was kind of really hard for me, because in my mind it's very easy to understand. In college, I met more people like me. I became more aware with myself and my identity and the people around me. I chose to not only identify and love my Hispanic Salvadoran heritage, as well as incorporating and relearning this new part of my heritage that for a very long part of my life I didn't know I had. And so at this point in my life, I feel very fortunate to be able to learn about my Haitian culture, about my Haitian heritage, about my ancestors. And I feel so lucky that I also have the ability to show my mother her heritage and to go through this journey with my sister as well, learning our Haitian heritage and learning to love ourselves for what we truly are and what we truly want to identify with.